Hey, I'm Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. This will be a part two. Sorry, all this lip gloss I just put on. From the platonic relationships, I felt like doing platonic relationships kind of went directly into romantic relationships naturally. So it kind of felt naturally to just piggyback off that. So I'm still going to address grief. I'm still going to address fasting. But those two just kind of seem hand in hand. So we're just going to flow from there. I'm just going to go with what feels right. So romantic relationships. First things first, just for anybody that's curious. Yes, I'm single. No, I'm not in any kind of relationship. Let's get that out the way. Boom. And just because I'm single doesn't mean that I don't have the space or the experience to address romantic relationships. Because sometimes I feel like people feel like because you're single, you shouldn't be talking about romantic relationships. And a lot of times, bitch, the call be coming from the house. Let's talk about it. The call be coming from the house. You know, I feel like a lot of times people talk from a place of complacency in relationships. And I think my experience of just choosing to be single and just choosing the life that I've built for myself, I think I have a little space to talk about romantic relationships. So let's get into it. I feel like our society has placed so much value on romantic relationships, and men will be able to get something from this too. But I feel like as women, especially as Black women, we've been taught to just take what we get. You know, we haven't been taught to be selective. We've been taught like, this is what you have, make the best of it. And I want us to grow from that place because you don't have to settle for anything. And you can definitely do bad by yourself. So stop feeling like you have to deal with somebody because this is the best that it gets. God has limitless things for you. Anything that you ask for, God will provide for you. So don't feel like you have to settle for this man because no other man is going to love you or no other person is going to show up for you or commit to you, because it's not true. When we give ourselves a mental foundation that we already have limitations and we can't experience the biggest desires of our hearts, it really manifests in our life because those belief systems have power. You know, you think and make choices based on those belief systems, which manifests a reality that sometimes we don't like. So like, if you really want a certain kind of relationship, you have to open your mind up to the possibility of that being there for you. Even if you haven't seen anyone in your family have that, even if you haven't seen your mother have that, even if you haven't seen like your aunts have that, even if you haven't seen a woman in the nearest mile radius with that, you have to believe that it's out there for you, because as long as you have in your head that it's not possible, it will not appear. Okay? So let's break that foundation of what you can and can't have first and foremost. Second, when you are a certain kind of woman, I really want you to remember that maybe there was a time that you could deal with a certain kind of man, but when you grow from a space and a place, then a lot of times you have to deal with isolation and being lonely. And that's for men too. You know what I'm saying? As a quality person, you have to understand that you are not for everyone, and you cannot always subject yourself to spaces and places that don't agree with who you are. I think a lot of times we try to shrink ourselves to fit in places that we no longer belong to. There may have been a time in your life that you were comfortable showing up in a space because it was familiar to you. But I think when you outgrow spaces and places and you have different unique experiences, that you can no longer relate to those people, spaces, and places. It doesn't mean that you're better than them, because I feel like a lot of times people run with narratives that just are harmful on either end. I think the least harmful perspective of that is just to understand that we all grow and we grow at different paces. And your growth may look different from my growth. You know, at this age, you may have felt like this year in your life, you know, this time of year, this season in your life, this phase. So it's really important for us to take a time to step outside of ourselves and identify where we are on our own timeline. Are you in a space where you're ready to receive a romantic relationship? Are you in a space where you're still figuring yourself out? Granted, you can still be figuring yourself out and meet the love of your life. Like, shit just happens. But I don't think we should all be out here like actively seeking. I don't think that's how God gives us partners, honestly. I think that it happens in a unique, you know, supernatural way. Like, you run into somebody and then like y'all wake up spending a life together. Like, I know there's details in between, but I just don't think that you have to actively seek them. Granted, some people believe in date naps and all that stuff. I'm not really with that. It's no shade to that. I'm not judging that. What I'm saying is, I just value uniquely running into people and having honest human experiences. That's all I'm saying. Don't beat my ass. Don't jump me in the comments. It's not that deep. But I said it to say, we all have to identify where we are on our unique journeys to better make decisions that are appropriate to the things that we want. So as far as romantic relationships, I think, do you want one? Like, I think we have to be more honest with ourselves about that. And I was just telling one of my cousins, that's not something I necessarily pray over. I always talk about prayer with y'all. I always talk about God with y'all. And the reason I think that I don't ever specifically pray over that is because, like, I'd be so focused on my relationship with God. I'd be so focused on my career. I'd be so focused on my finances. I'd be so focused on my physical, mental, emotional health that I guess sometimes the idea of praying for a person seems kind of, I don't know, like it gives me the ick. If I'm being honest, if I'm gonna be real, it gives me the ick. And I don't know, maybe it seems like I'm begging God for a man. I don't know. I don't feel like that though. I don't like that. But I know that anything that you ask God for, He is willing to show up and have. So I do encourage you, if you want a specific man or a woman, to bring it to God. Think about the things that you would like in that person and probably write it down, because it'll bring you closer to getting that thing. Anything that I petition to God on paper, He has literally brought to me on a platter. And when I least expect it, always on His own timeline, always when He feels like I'm ready. So also, I would like to encourage you guys to pray to be ready for the person that you're asking to receive. Because a lot of times we ask for stuff and we are not ready for it. Like, are you in a space to be faithful to somebody? Because don't have somebody come to your doorstep saying that they're ready for a relationship, saying that they're ready to commit to you and only you. And you still looking for other things, and you still trying to sleep with other people, and you still trying to, play the field. Because that's not fair to that person. And that's why God don't be wasting His time on us sometimes. Because we be asking for something and you're not ready for it. You're not finished being a player. You're still trying to see what's in, the waters. So be mindful what you're asking for. Be mindful what you're ready for. And be honest and accountable for what you're inviting into your life. Because don't invite somebody into your life who wants something serious and that's not where you at. And it's okay to not want that, because romantic relationships are not just exclusively to the exclusive. Some romantic relationships can be just for people who like to see what's out there. I think as long as you have a healthy, honest, pure experience with people, that it's okay. We're human. Most of us are still young. I realize when I look at my analytics that I cover a wide range of different people, which is cool for me. So no matter how much older you are, if you know you don't want anything serious and you just want to experience people, I think that if you put that out there initially and they receive it and they accept it and they understand it, because a lot of people say they fuck with something, but they don't really be fucking with it. They think they can change your mind. So be mindful of people who think that they can change your mind from the things that you originally said you wanted. But if you have somebody who understands that you're just, here for experiences, I think that it's okay to experience things. That's what life is about. We try different foods. We try different drinks. You try different people sometimes. I'm open to understanding that is some people's unique experiences. And when I think of romantic relationships, initially I always think of commitment. So monogamous commitment, if I'm specific, because I know some people believe in polygamy and everything else. Let me answer that question before it comes about. No, not for me. Not for me. Personally, I'm the queen bee. I know it gave that. Like, come on. Like, I'm not a baked potato. I'm not baked macaroni. I'm not peas. I'm not corn. I'm not rice. I'm the filet mignon. Like, let's be serious. So that's not for me. But if that's for you, have at it. This may not be the channel for you, or you may get stuff from this video still. Don't feel like it's an attack, but that's not where the space I'm coming from. So as far as romantic relationships, also, I think a big thing for us, when we were younger, you dated people based on, like, you like some of the things I like. You dress the way I like. I'm attracted to how you look. But now that we older, you really have to understand if somebody is equally yoked with you. And I don't think enough people address what equally yoked means. So understanding that we have similar belief systems, ideologies, integrity, moral compass, desires. Some people divorce because we want completely different things in life. There's people that got married knowing one of them wanted a child and another of them didn't want a child, and they still got married. And that's a harmful choice because you've committed your life to this person and y'all are deeply in love, but you also realize the more time you spend with a person, the deeper it gets. So the sooner you leave, the better, because the more time you spend and the deeper you get, the more harmful or the more hurtful it is when y'all separate because y'all planned a whole life together. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to get out the way in the beginning. What do you want? Well, I want these things. Are you okay with not having a child? How would that look like for you? Would that damage you forever? Would you resent me if I never gave you one? Like, these are real conversations that we have to have. Also, finances. If you have like an eye and you're on social media, period, you see a lot of these divorce attorneys and you just see statistics, period, and they tell you that a lot of people divorce based on finances. Now that I'm grown, I get it. Like, money is important. I'm tired of people acting like money is taboo to talk about. I'm tired of people acting like money does not exist. Money is real. Money make the world go round. We're in inflation and it's terrible. At this point, we're in a modern depression. If we're going to be honest. This is a modern depression. I tell my mom all the time, girl, if I had started my career 10, 15 years ago, my money would spend so different. And I'm comfortable and I love my life and I live a great life and we look good, feel good, all that stuff. But it's bad. It's hard out here. It's hard. So you have to meet somebody who makes a salary that you're comfortable with or is willing to commit to a life that could get them a salary that they're comfortable with. You also have to be honest with yourself that if you make a certain amount, are you okay with someone who makes this or makes less than? Are you okay with working with someone who's working on their career if the money doesn't come up front? These are conversations that I feel like a lot of people avoid. And honestly, when you avoid confrontation initially, all it does is delay the confrontation. Like, the sooner you address it, the better, because it doesn't just go away magically because y'all both uncomfortable talking about it. That's not the truth. That's not real life. That's not how it works. So it's better for y'all to get y'all finances out the way initially. Be honest with each other. Be honest about your goals. As a woman, be honest about what you expect. As a man, be honest about what you expect, what you're willing to have, what you want. You know, I feel like some people, I see a lot of conversations about traditional women, traditional men, and I need more people to just be honest about what that looks like. Like, do you really want a traditional woman? Because are you men gonna put your checks on the table, honey? Are you gonna do it? And a lot of y'all are not. Let's be honest. A lot of y'all are not. Let's be real. And also, if we're gonna talk about it, we gotta talk about it. And I told my cousin I was gonna have to talk about it, honey. As a modern woman, and I can only speak from my experience, as a modern career woman, as a modern powerhouse kind of woman, a lot of men are not comfortable with you being Oprah. Like, at this point, I'm gonna be honest. Bitch, I wanna be Oprah. And I'm not saying I wanna be Oprah. Like, I know there's a lot of rhetoric about her not being a good person and all that. I will not get into that. God, please. I don't wanna tap into that part. I just want to say, I want to be a powerhouse. I want to be a mogul. I want to be boss woman. I want to have as much money that I can acquire without harming anyone, right? I'm very ambitious and I'm not going to project limitations on myself. But with that being said, there is a lot of statistics and research that show when you're that kind of woman, you're more likely to be lonely. And that's because a lot of men are intimidated by career women. A lot of men are intimidated by women that make more than them. It makes them feel inferior. A lot of men don't know how to be the cheerleader, right? Because as women, we've always been, I tell my dad this all the time. I tell my male friends all this time. The world is catered. I hate when my lip gloss does that. I put a lot on though, y'all. I put like a super gunk on, but whatever. The world is catered to men. So we've been taught at an early age how to, coax a male ego. The men have not been taught how to cheer us on. The men have not been taught how to encourage us when we're in higher spaces and places. So a lot of times when we get there, nobody's cheering for us. And I do not encourage us to stay with any man that does not support you as you advance, as you acquire more assets, as you build your net worth. If that man, excuse me, girl, I just always do this. It's so embarrassing. If that man cannot support you as you grow, I personally don't feel like that's the man for you. That is not God's ministry for your life. Find people that celebrate you in every avenue of your life, period. So I think that It does get lonely in dating because you may not meet people often that are on the same level as you, that are equally yoked as you, that are willing to show up for you to a certain capacity. And I just had saw a TikTok that just talked about how the more expensive you look as a woman, the more things you acquire. You may have men that like to pursue you for their ego, but they don't realistically pursue you because they feel like there's nothing else for them to give to you. And it sucks, but I just want us to be patient and hold out for those people that are willing to show up for us, or the people who can meet us where we are, because those people do exist. I will never tell myself that those people don't exist because I know God has a ministry for my life. So if I'm going to be a person that gets married and has my own family and all that good stuff, then that man has to exist, right? So I'm just open to receiving that, and I want you to open your mind to receiving that. If you date women, that's okay too. That woman exists out there. Men, that woman exists. Or if you're a man that dates men, that man exists. Just open your mind up to that opportunity being there. I know it's hard because a lot of times we get jaded with dating. I know we've all experienced all kind of trauma from dating. I know we've all experienced all kind of heartbreak. We've all been cheated on. We've all been disappointed. We've all been lied to. But we really have to take that time to heal with ourselves. That's why I also don't feel like we have to just jump into dating every time you leave a relationship. Sometimes you need that space with yourself. And we love a rebound, right? Like, people just love a rebound. You love to redirect that energy instead of sitting with those displaced feelings. And I know it hurts, and I know it gets uncomfortable and hard, but it's our responsibility to deal with those feelings, because if we don't deal with them, they don't go anywhere. They still exist. So it's very important for us to sit with how we feel, and that's why I tell everybody to journal, meditate, bring it to God. You know, we talk to our homegirls, our homeboys, whatever. Bring it to God. God gonna give you the clarity that you need. God is actually gonna give you the comfort that you need. Sometimes we're not comfortable sitting with those truths long enough, so we rather talk to another human about it. But realistically, the person we need to bring everything to is the big man upstairs, right? We can always bring it back to God. So not only petition to him what you want in a partner, petition to him about healing you to be receptive and be the best version of yourself to receive that partner. Because you don't want God to bring you the perfect person that you prayed about, and you're not the person that they need, and you turn out to be the person that taints them for the next person. We don't want to do that. We're focused on health and wellness and growth and being the best version of ourselves. So if we're going to be the best version of ourselves, then we are definitely in that space to be the person that someone else may need. Or not just need, because I don't feel like we need romantic relationships, right? But be a person that could better benefit someone's life. Because I think the thing that we need to focus on as far as romantic relationships is, how does this person benefit our life? Like, what difference does this person make in our life? Is it a positive difference that is enough to hold space for them being here? When you think about your favorite people as far as friends, and that's how I judge romantic relationships now. I think about my best friends, my favorite people to spend time with, talk to, share things with, and I just kind of, compare. Like, can I tell this person the stuff I tell them? How does this person respond when I do these things? You know what I'm saying? Because I think the most important thing about a romantic relationship is to have a friendship. Less about chemistry. Granted, you want to have chemistry and all that other stuff, but realistically, who they are as a person. Can you trust them? Do they value you as a person? Are they a mad day person? Do they hold things over your head? Do they hold things against you? Those are things that you have to factor in when you're judging if this will be a long-term relationship. Because a lot of times, especially when you're still young, you can ignore things for a while. Sex gets in the way, drinking gets in the way, just fun things, trips, whatever, dates can get in the way of you actually acknowledging who a person is. So the sooner you acknowledge who they are, the sooner you try to evaluate if they are equally yoked with you, the quicker you can wean out who doesn't belong. You know what I mean? I hope I addressed this the way that it is receptive to the ears that are listening, okay? Because this was all off the top of the head. If y'all been watching, y'all know I love to have my little notebooks, but I really wanted to go off the top of my head with this because I felt like I had a lot of things in here to say about this. I said it to say, like, comment, and subscribe. Again, follow me on my Instagram. It's Miss Bonita, 3 I's, 4 A's, I think. It should come up. I say that to say, see y'all next time. I'll try to link my TikTok. I'm still learning how to do all these things, but work with me. And yeah, these are my opinions on a romantic relationship. Tell me if y'all have any things y'all want me to address specifically. Like if I didn't tap into anything or you want to just know my opinion about certain stuff, I'm definitely open. So again, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.